Greetings and welcome to a district update. As I record this, it is November the 12th, 2020, and I am Mike Bellamy, your district vice president. I've got some notes here that I'm going to refer to. We have a lot of information to cover, but I know as the emails continue to fly in and we continue to get inundated with information every day, hopefully this video helps you digest the information that's coming in from our district, and will help you guys get engaged. So we'll kick off the report with our political update. We'll start at the state level. So just for a little bit of background, we have 9 House seats in our district that cover across the Pensacola to Tallahassee region, and we have 3 Senate seats. So in this previous election, we had 3 state House seats that were unopposed. Those were Jair Williamson, Brad Drake, and Herman Alexander. We have supported those candidates in the past, and this time they did not need any endorsements. That leaves the remaining 6. We did provide support in one way or another in all of those 6 races. The good news is, all of those legislators were re-elected or remained in office. So of those 6, a few notable elections were Michelle Salzman in the Pensacola area. She knocked off Representative Mike Hill. We were active in that race, and that's going to bear some fruit for us, hopefully. Also in the Destin area, we had former Judge Pat Maney. That was a close race over there. It was a crowded primary with a lot of Republican candidates in there. So again, we're excited that Judge Maney was elected to the Florida House, and we're grateful to the locals in that district that provided support. So good stuff. Moving to the Senate, we really only had 1 race in the 3 districts across the 8th district across the Panhandle. That race was contentious and got ugly, and by some accounts it was probably the most contentious race we've had in North Florida in several decades. So we obviously threw our support behind Lorraine Osley, who termed out in the Florida House. She was very supportive for us, always has been on our issues, really 100% voting record for us. So we were pleased of the results there, that she came out on top, defeating Marva Preston. So we look forward to working with her in the Senate now. Moving on to local elections. So we kind of had some mixed outcomes across the district. We're proud to see locals get more engaged in voter outreach this session. Leading up to the election, we knew that absentee balloting and mail-in balloting was going to be a huge player, a huge method of voting for the voters. So we knew that we had to reach the voters in a new way. Over on the eastern side of the district in the Tallahassee area, we had less door knocking going on. There was still some of that going on over towards the west, but we knew we had to reach voters through digital strategies like social media and email marketing, and we knew we had to get to them early because most of those votes were cast well ahead of the actual primary and general election deadline. So a couple notable efforts: Tallahassee, Walton, and Scambia were a few examples of locals that got involved in some of that social media and in digital voter outreach, and even in got to take my hat off to my home local here in Tallahassee, starting its own PAC and using a lot of those funds to reach. I think we reached nearly 500,000 voters during the combined with the primary and the general election. So. Moving on to the, now after the election, as we know, politics is 24/7, 365. So now we move into the next phase of the actual getting into the legislative process. So House Speaker Sprouse and Senator Simpson have both laid out their schedules for the 2021 session. They've both pushed out some information to the new members that are coming in. The organizing sessions will happen in November, and then in December they'll have like a training academy for the new legislators, and really for even the incumbent legislators. And committee weeks are scheduled through January and February. So we'll stay on top of that. The start of the session will be March 2nd of 2021. Speaker and the Senate President have also announced their leadership for committees. And we are pleased to announce that one of those in the House came out of the FPF 8th District, and Representative Chairman Trumbull now, Jay Trumbull out of the Panama City area. We actually got behind his campaign, or at least got involved with him through some contributions and sat down with him. We don't have locals in that district, so it's a little difficult. But we did sit down with him last year and this year and provided him some support. And so we do feel like we have a good relationship there that we're building. As Appropriations Chair, he obviously controls a lot of the purse strings, so that's a good thing for us. I'm going to flip my page here. Moving on to the FPF 76th first virtual convention that we've had in our long history. So that will be held November 18th. That meeting will be called to order at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll be able to log into that up to an hour early. I want to thank those members in the 8th District that have already that registered. Of course, we're past the deadline now as when you're watching this video. But I did want to give you a few takeaways, things you need to know about the upcoming convention if you are a delegate. So number one is each delegate and alternate who has already registered, you will need to also go on the Zoom webinar and register there as well. So there'll be a link that's coming out from the FPF that has the information about registering on Zoom. So seems like a little redundancy, but the way that we did this, Eventbrite was the process that we used to register all the delegates. It was the easiest thing that staff and that leadership, the FPF, decided to use to get us registered. So now that you are a delegate, we have to go in and register for the actual Zoom convention. So again, that link will come out beginning on November the 16th. On Monday, you'll be able to register now. A couple of things there. You must use the same name, email address, and your local number that you used on the Eventbrite. So if, like I registered as a delegate at large, I used Mike. When I register on the Zoom webinar, I've got to use Mike, not Michael. And at the last check of the number of registered delegates, we had 272 across the state, 71 alternates, and 8 guests, and 29 delegates at large. So I do have the pleasure of serving as the Credential Committee's chairman for our first virtual convention. So I'm happy to report that everything is, we've met the minimum requirement to hold a convention, and things are shaping up. So we're excited about that. I want to thank 2 members out of our district also that served on convention committees, Brett McDaniel out of North Bay and Joey Davis out of Tallahassee. So thank you, brothers, both for serving on those committees. We do have 7 pre-filed resolutions. I have included a link here in this email that I attached the video to, and you can also find that at the FPF's website. We have a convention link there for convention information, so you can read the resolutions that were filed, as well as see the recommendations from the resolutions committee. So 2 of those 7 resolutions received a rejection recommendation from the committee. We'll talk more offline about that with the delegates, and then the other 5 were recommended for approval. We do have elections. Vice President Rocco Salvatori is seeking re-election for vice president. As of right now, there are no other candidates that have emerged, and I will take this just a quick personal point of privilege to say that Vice President Salvatori has been a key player in the success of our state organization through his tenure, and I support him wholeheartedly, and I'd love nothing more than when we get that resolution up during the convention that we can add all of the locals from the 8th District. Okay, we also do have a election for 1st District Trustee, which includes our district. That's like the Orlando area up and over. So that also is unopposed at this time, and Scotty Taylor is seeking re-election for that position. And again, another personal note on that. Scotty's been a great trustee for us, a great friend of mine, been a key player in our organization for many, many years, and I also look for our district to move and support him and add our names to that resolution, or I should say to the nomination that is made for Scotty Taylor. As far as the budget goes, there is a no per cap proposed in the new budget. That budget is available on the FPF webpage. You can read that in its entirety. We're bringing a flat budget this year, so no changes there. Moving on to a couple of important issues here just to wrap up with. Our firefighter tag charity money has been a huge resource for our locals across the state and in our district. I would encourage all of our affiliates to keep track of the monies that are available on the FPF website. Those monies do use or lose. There is use or lose money there that we have to use before each quarter. Many of the locals stay on top of that, but I do have some that do not. So in several of our counties, we need to log in and check that out. So let me know if you need any assistance with that. The Joint Safety and Health Conference that's held in Orlando this year is also going virtual. The conference also will be free this year, which is huge. So that will be held December 7th through the 9th. And to register for that, go to the ffca.org. That's the Florida Fire Chiefs Association website. And lastly, IAFF DVP Walt Dix recently advised us on the 12th District Zoom meeting that the 55th IAFF Biannual Convention will be held virtual this year. So no trip to Las Vegas. That's probably going to save our locals and our members some money by not being out there in Sin City. However, there still will be a convention. It will be held virtually, and that will be January 25th through the 29th. The IAFF website has a page dedicated to the timelines and more information. So, brothers and sisters, that concludes my video report. I hope that this information finds its way into your local leadership, and we look forward to seeing you at the virtual convention. Stay safe and continue to work hard for your members, brothers and sisters. We'll see you soon.